the way that Timmy and I met, long time ago, back before the internet.
Al Gore invented the internet.
Yeah, before Al Gore invented the internet. We had what was known as bulletin board systems. And they were these message boards that looks quite a bit like Discord, actually. You would use your modem on your computer to call another computer and log in with a username and a password, just like you do on websites. And there was no graphic user interface whatsoever. It was all text driven with ANSI graphics that did all sorts of weird stuff. And so we originally met, God, I want to say that was like 95, 94. And we chatted for a while. And then, we just, there was a multi-user bulletin board that was in Seattle called Chat. And so we chatted, and we never got around to meeting. We just a whole bunch of us were all chatting together in this big chat room. And so a few years later, one of our mutual friends was getting married. No, it was her birthday. Renee and so Renee was having a birthday, and we were all getting together. There was like about 35, 40 of us all descending upon the old spaghetti factory in downtown Seattle. And then we were going to a hockey game. And Timmy was supposed to go to that hockey game, but he got called into work or something. Or was that the rollover accident?
No, that was called in.
Oh, okay. So we never met face to face up until like, I want to say 2005, maybe 2006. Yeah. Whole other group of people. And we were all at a barbecue restaurant in Auburn. And that's when we first met. We never really put two and two together as far as chat was concerned. But he was also, I ran a bulletin board. It was called Beyond the Grave. And he was one of my members on my board. But we never really put two and two together. And we had these group meetings once a month, and we went all sorts of places, bowling, which I broke my thumb in a bowling ball, mini golf and laser tag. Old Spaghetti Factory was always the go-to place. So we never really put two and two together until one day, several years later, I was home alone on New Year's Eve. And we, in between all that time, we got together frequently. We were friends. And it was very cold. It was the furnace. The furnace died. The furnace died in my house. And it was also an old house, not nearly as old as this one, but it was also almost double the size. And so I was home alone with the flu, and the furnace died, and I called our mutual friend whose house I was supposed to be at for New Year's Eve, but I was sick, but Timmy was there. And I was talking to my friend Carrie, and I said, my furnace died and I'm freezing to death and I don't know what to do. He goes, well, hang on a second. And so next thing I know, at about an hour and 45 minutes later, Timmy shows up at my door just before midnight, and he goes and I'm like, oh, dude, I totally forgot that this is what you do for work. And so he fixed my furnace, or no, he did a emergency patch on the furnace until he could get into a supply house to go and get the part. So he, you know, did some wiring to, you know, bypass something. But anyway, so we sat around and we chit-chatted for a while, and I felt like crap, and he basically sent me to bed, and he left and then came back then like 2 days later with the part in hand. And I tried to pay him, but he wouldn't let me pay him. And then things got kind of interesting at that point. We started going out just casually. We didn't really call it a date. It was just casual, go out and grab some food. And we were sitting at the table at my favorite Thai restaurant, and we were talking, and all of a sudden it's like we realized all these connections that we had over the decades, that we knew each other back then. And it was just so bizarre. And then so we started officially dating, and then he was staying the weekends, and then staying a little longer, and staying a little longer. And then we bought this house, and we planned our wedding a few times, but it got all the plans got canceled because we were going to just quietly just disappear and go and get married real quick and just do a quickie and then have a party later, you know. And so the restaurant that I was working at a wine bar, and we had this dipstick that just couldn't create a schedule properly. And so I ended up having to cancel the wedding plans, or lose my job, which sucked. Then another time, I think it was, we were planning on doing that again, and Timmy got sick. So we had to cancel that. And then the third time was another work problem. So yeah, so we've been living together and unofficially married since 2007, November 2007. A couple months after we moved into the house, we had a 100-year flood, and it took out pretty much almost all of the backyard, and so we almost lost the house. It's pretty close to the corner of the house where the bedroom is, almost went into the creek, but it didn't, thank goodness. But unfortunately, our neighbor 5 houses down wasn't so lucky. He lost a 3-car garage that was just built that summer. It went floating down the creek, and so that's the story. It's kind of interesting, kind of funny. There's just some funny things that happened, some not so funny things that happened. Yeah. So that's the story.
If you haven't yet subscribed to Munchie Mafia Official, now is that time. What's stopping you?